When I got the call to come to California, drive a brand new car, bring my family with me, and go to Disneyland at the same time, it was a no-brainer. What's up everybody, this is Danny, and today I get to drive the brand new VinFast VF9. I first saw this car a couple of years ago in Vietnam, so I'm excited to be one of the first people to drive this in the US. I partnered with VinFast to give you an early look at the VF9, and while I love the VF8 for its practicality and its price point, this one's exciting because it's a 3-row all-electric SUV, and we don't have enough of those on the market right now, so the more choice, the better in my opinion. I picked this car up from the Irvine showroom yesterday, and it was really cool to see, and I got to drive it to the hotel last night, so I got to drive it a little bit, but I got my family with me today and we're going to drive all around LA, so this should be a fun day. Let's go. All right, so the first stop is
the Father of the Bride house.
She's always wanted to see it. It's in Pasadena, so we got it plugged in. This is running Apple CarPlay, also runs Android Auto as well. Let's do it. All right, so we're starting with 89% battery. Let's see where we end up. So what was supposed to be a 20-minute drive ended up turning out to be an hour drive, but that gives me a good chance to talk about the ride quality and some of the cool features in this car. So right away, I've tested the VF8 in its pre-production stage and after the production stage, and I can see there's a lot of improvements already that they've learned from the VF8 here in the VF9. So that's nice to see, and there is air suspension on here, so the ride has been comfortable so far. Now, this is not meant to be a speed demon or anything. It's meant to be a comfortable everyday family car, and so far it's definitely handling these California bumpy roads pretty well. What do you think?
It's rocked our kids to sleep, so there's that, right?
That is the #1 testament. They slept a lot last night because of the long plane ride, and they are both KO'd in the back, just mouths wide open, just
and it's
passed
like
out.
12:30 in the afternoon, so I mean,
hey,
testament to the car right there.
Already. This also gave me a perfect opportunity to test out the ADAS. There's a button here that you hit on the steering wheel and it turns it into adaptive cruise control with advanced lane keeping, and it will keep you distanced away as long as you want, up to 4 cars, which is really cool. And I can see that directly on the heads-up display, which is nice and clear, so I get to see all the information and keep my eyes on the road. So that's working really well, and that's what's driving this car right now. So I'm gonna keep driving, and we still have 22 minutes, so see what happens if we actually make it. All right, she found it. There it is. Not sure if it was worth the drive, but
I got to see it.
What do you think?
It's so good. It's so good. I love it.
Wow, Old Pasadena is super nice. So Holly's jumping in and she's driving for a little bit.
Holly.
East Holly Street. But yeah, we made it here with 77%, which is not bad at all, that considering that we were in traffic for like over an hour. So far so good when it comes to the range. All right, so where do you guys want to go next?
In and out.
All right, in and out it is. All right, so that always hits the spot. So next up is the Griffith Observatory. I've never been there, and since the family's here, why not? Let's drive. Hey, yo, this view is incredible. Wow. Take a look at that. Super cool. What do you guys think? This is so cool, man. All right, so the Griffith Observatory was super cool. Like, the views from here, absolutely incredible. So I can't believe I've never been here before, but it's definitely worth it. So we made it up here with 69%, which is pretty crazy because we've been driving pretty much all around LA today. But we're gonna make it back to Irvine now, and I think it should be about 45 minutes there, but I think with traffic it looks like it's like an hour and a half. So we're gonna check back in on the range, because I think this might be right at that 330 mile range that they are claiming here. So even with sport mode on, I've been kind of toggling back and forth. I think the range has been holding up really great. So let's check that after we get back. All right, so we made it here and I've drove 117 miles all day, and looks like I'm almost at 3 miles per kilowatt hour, which is good. And I'm on 53% battery, so it looks like the range is very, very solid so far on this. So I'm swapping cars right now because I met Enabong here, because he's also driving this vehicle and giving his thoughts on it. I'll leave that link down below. All right, so we're back at the hotel. It's been a long day, but what's cool is that I was able to just charge right at the hotel, because that's one of the misconceptions of EVs, is that there's not chargers anywhere. And it depends on the state that you live in, but here in California there's tons of chargers, including our hotel. So I just plugged it in. It's going to be charged by tomorrow morning. We'll be ready to go. But guess what, tomorrow we get to do Disney, so that's going to be even cooler. Good night. Yeah. Good morning from Anaheim, and before heading into the park I was grabbing some coffee and running errands, and I realized I never showed you the car, so let me give you a little tour. You can see the Pininfarina design that looks really clean. You do get a sizable hood scoop there, and it's just for looks, but there's a frunk underneath, and I'll show you that later. I'm really digging these body color fender flares that I think gives it a sleeker look. Let me know what you think about that. The body lines are pleasant to the eye with an easy taper that has a neat V crossing at the C-pillar, which I think is a nice design flair. The handles on the door are chrome though, and they're flush to the body, unlike the VF8, which has actual handles, but I do appreciate that all four are soft touch closing doors, so you don't have to worry if you don't close them all the way. Here's a look at the back of the VF9 with the wraparound light bar design, and I have to tell you, the storage room on this car is really nice. We're able to fit all of our suitcases in here, backpacks, groceries, you name it, so I don't think you'll be disappointed as a family. Here's what the storage space looks like with the third row up. I know a lot of you want to see that, and there's even more storage space underneath, so that is one of the best things about an all-electric vehicle. And it also does have a kick sensor underneath, so you can open and close your hatch hands-free, which is convenient for groceries and when you have your hands full. Here's the full side view of the VF9. I think I prefer this look over the VF8, but let me know in the comments if you feel the same way. There is a look at the wheels. I think this is the only option at launch, but let's take a look inside because I'm really digging the interior on this blue model. Check out that interior color. I think it looks really good. Nice VinFast logo detail on the headrest. You get a large 15.6-inch touchscreen infotainment system here, and the center console looks very similar to the VF8 with these 4 physical buttons for park, reverse, neutral, and drive. There is a wireless charger there at the front. 2 cup holders here that are standard size with a physical volume knob here, and window lock and hazard light buttons too, which are easy to get to. Decent amount of space here underneath the armrest with 2 USB ports if you need them for charging. Driving this all day yesterday, the seats are super comfy, and you get heated and ventilated seats on the front and back, and you also get massaging seats in the front and rear as well, which you don't see that much in this price point, so I think people will like that. There are 5 modes to choose from, so the passengers get hooked up in the VF9. Here is what the glove compartment looks like, and there are physical movable AC vents, which I really appreciate. So let's take a look at the back. There's a nice phone holder there in the door with a door open button on the handle, and when you look you get that same vegan leather with the stitching, so that looks nice. And there's also a display for the passengers, which is a great addition for infotainment, so they can control their seats, temperature, and music. 2 cup holders here for them in the center console, so this is a 6-seater configuration. Some storage for the passengers as well, with 2 more USB ports for charging, and there's also a second wireless charger here, so that's something you don't see too much, which is cool. So this is a nice and spacious second row, but I'm pretty sure that you guys are curious about the third row and just how big it is. So you see this lever right here, just pull that one and you can pull the seat down, and then you will see this little pull tab here at the back of the seat. You pull on that and you get easy access to the back. And as you can see, there is a glass roof for the passengers in the back, and there's a lot of light coming through, so it makes it feel more open. Here's my wife in the back seat, who is 5'7" for reference, so that is no issue. Of course, perfect for the kids as well. But even Enabong, who is well over 6 foot, was able to fit in the back there. We had to adjust the seats forward a little bit, but the third row is definitely usable. I'm gonna end this tour with a quick look at the frunk, but I need to get back because I want to get to California Adventure. This is my favorite park, so let's go. We had too much fun yesterday and I'm sad to be leaving California today, but this gave me a chance to drive the car a little bit more back to the airport. I didn't have enough time with the car to do an in-depth review of any sort, but I'm glad I got to drive it. But this is a really comfy car to drive. It's a smooth cruiser that starts at $69,800, so if that fits your price range, this might be worth a look. The software has improved since last time I drove a VinFast vehicle, but I hope they keep improving it. I know that Sony Ride View is coming to the VF9, which is cool because that gives you the Sony Pictures catalog to watch while you're charging, and you can even watch in the back too, along with smartphones as well, which I think is neat. I did get to fast charge too right before I gave it back. It was a little bit expensive though, since I was charging at peak time, but there are so many chargers out there in California, so different than where I live. If you want to see this vehicle and try it out for yourself, if there is a VinFast store near you, then go check it out. They can answer all of your questions there about the trims, the pricing, and materials that they use, anything that you might have a question on. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them the best I can. Maybe I can address them in a follow-up video if I get more time with this car in the future. Thanks for joining me and my family this week, and I will see you guys in the next one.